Former Western New Mexico University President Joseph Shepard is facing a lawsuit from the New Mexico Ethics Commission over the allegation that he misused public funds for personal use. New Mexico now ranks 4th in the nation for food insecurity, but still ranks above the national average for food insecurity among residents and children. 3 years after legalizing adult-use cannabis, New Mexico is ramping up enforcement with a new law that takes effect today. And New Mexico's solar industry is bracing for major setbacks if a Senate budget bill passes Congress. From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. It's Tuesday, July 1st, and I'll have more on those stories in a few moments, plus a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast on the other side of this break.
This episode is brought to you by the Kirtland Partnership Committee. For 30 years, we've been dedicated to supporting, growing, and preserving the Kirtland National Security Complex. We work tirelessly to enhance military readiness, foster community partnerships, improve quality of life, and promote economic development right here in New Mexico. Join us in our mission to ensure that Kirtland remains a cornerstone of national security and a key provider of quality jobs and investment for all of Greater Albuquerque. Together, we can make a powerful impact. Kirtland Partnership Committee, proudly shaping the future of our national security for 30 years.
The State Ethics Commission has filed a lawsuit against former Western New Mexico President Joseph Shepard. With more on this development, I'm now joined by the Journal's Southern New Mexico correspondent, Algernon Damasa. Algernon, thank you so much for joining me. This lawsuit is really just the latest in a saga that's been going on with Shepard and Western New Mexico University. Of course, Shepard resigned amid controversy over extravagant spending on luxury travel and home furnishing. But what can you tell us about the lawsuit and the latest developments here?
Well, on Monday morning, the New Mexico State Ethics Commission filed a lawsuit, a civil suit, accusing Shepard of misusing public funds. Essentially, they say that he diverted money for a construction project on campus to pay for a walkway and essentially an extension to a patio to make a nice place for his daughter's wedding, which took place on campus. And Dr. Shepard got on the phone with me and he said that this is all bunk, that he actually changed the project because he found a way to save money and make it a less expensive project, and that he was pushing to get it done for use in graduation events, which took place a week before his daughter's wedding. And he's vowed to fight the lawsuit in court. He says it's based on lies, and he's going to try to get himself vindicated.
And Algernon, one of the more interesting things about your story is that the lawsuit alleges that Shepard deliberately kept the construction project under $300,000, and they're alleging he did that to avoid state oversight.
Right. So there's at $300,000, there has to be a review by the New Mexico Higher Education Authority, the Higher Education Department. And they're alleging that once the project was about to exceed that threshold, he put the brakes on it and then changed it so that it would not exceed that threshold. Shepard's answer to that is, look, I found a way to save $120,000, and now the State Ethics Commission is suing me for saving the state $120,000.
And Algernon, it's not just the State Ethics Commission that's making allegations against Shepard, but it's also 2 former university employees as well.
Right. So there are sworn statements in this lawsuit from a former capital projects director on campus. So he is somebody who worked with Shepard on a number of projects, including this one. And he helped provide correspondence, purchase orders, and various documents to support what the Ethics Commission says happened here. There's also a statement by a former staff photographer on campus, Jay Hemphill. He's gone public in the past. He filed an ethics complaint against Shepard last year, and he has some allegations in the lawsuit that the commission says supports the narrative that Shepard would find ways to justify expenses for his personal benefit, saying that they were for university business. Hemphill even alleges that he directed an employee to order flowers for the wedding and put on the purchase order that it was for graduation, saying no one will notice the difference. Shepard pushed back on that very angrily and says that it's an outright lie and he's going to present witnesses denying that account.
And Algernon, all of this really comes in the wake of the ongoing fallout of Shepard's resignation, which included a $1.9 million severance and a faculty position, all of which were approved by a board of regents that was then asked to resign by the governor. So really, this is just the latest domino to fall.
Right. So there were news reports about his spending going back to 2023. It unfolded slowly as lawmakers began to comment on this and call for an audit, call for an ethics investigation. Shepard resigned, and the Board of Regents, which was very happy with his leadership, approved a $1.9 million severance. They also gave him a faculty appointment, and he is actually going to teach a course for Western in the next academic year. And it's going to be an online course on business statistics and business ethics.
So it should be interesting to see how this lawsuit develops as the months roll on. Algernon, thank you so much for joining me and sharing the latest with us.
Anytime.
In other headlines from the newsroom, New Mexico now ranks 4th in the nation for food insecurity, according to the Feeding America's 2025 report. That's a drop from first place. Despite this improvement, 16.6% of residents and 23.3% of children remain food insecure, both of which are above the national average. Food banks and state programs have helped slow the rise in hunger, but future progress is threatened by recent federal budget cuts. A $300 billion reduction in nutrition assistance programs, including SNAP, could strain resources that currently support over 250,000 New Mexican households. Advocates warn the state isn't financially equipped to absorb these costs, risking a major setback in food security gains. 3 years after legalizing adult-use cannabis, New Mexico is ramping up enforcement with a new law that takes effect today. The state will hire 10 law enforcement officers funded by a $1.6 million budget allocation to target illicit cannabis activity. These officers will have full authority to seize and destroy unlawful products, addressing issues like untested or mislabeled cannabis and unlicensed operations. While the Cannabis Control Division has revoked 18 licenses and issued $4.4 million in fines, enforcement has mostly been administrative until now. Some lawmakers voiced concerns about the proliferation of dispensaries, particularly in towns like Sunland Park, and rising youth cannabis use. Since sales began in April of 2022, New Mexico has seen $1.7 billion in cannabis revenue, though monthly sales have plateaued. And New Mexico's solar industry is bracing for major setbacks if a Senate budget bill passes, with provisions to phase out solar tax credits early and impose a new excise tax of up to 30% on solar and wind projects. Industry leaders warn the changes could reduce solar installations by 30% by 2027. That could lead to increased electricity prices and cost thousands of jobs. While some companies like Albuquerque-based Affordable Solar may weather the shift, others could face deep cuts. The bill also includes strict sourcing rules that could hurt projects relying on components that are made in China. Critics say the bill threatens U.S. clean energy leadership and could devastate New Mexico's solar sector, which currently employs 2,000 to 3,000 people. Though some senators plan to introduce amendments to soften the impact, the future of the tax credits remains uncertain as the bill moves through Congress. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you here daily, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and allows us to provide you with the news that matters to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast, scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected today after 12 p.m., partly sunny with a high near 84. As for this evening, scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected before midnight, mostly cloudy with a low around 62. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. We'll be back tomorrow.